And my name wasn't even Busta Rhymes at the time. I had a fucked up rap name at the time.
What was it?
Yo.
Busta Rhymes just pulled a wild stunt, and it's got everybody talking. The word on the street is that Busta rolled up on 50 Cent after catching wind of a certain leaked private tape, but instead of playing it cool, 50 took the moment to clown him, right there in front of everybody. This isn't your run-of-the-mill rap drama either. No, 50's upcoming documentary promises to pull back the curtain on some of the music industry's darkest secrets, and now, like it or not, Busta's name is right in the thick of it. And here's the kicker. Orlando Brown's tangled up in this mess too. Yeah, it's getting messy, real messy. It wasn't always like this. 50 and Busta used to be tight, no drama, all smiles, kicking back like brothers. But lately, things have been shifting. That cool, relaxed vibe, gone, completely vanished. And this leaked footage could be the last straw, especially after Busta went on live TV to back Diddy. Rumor has it that Busta confronted 50 head-on after hearing whispers that his name might be getting dragged into 50's upcoming documentary on Diddy's secret lifestyle. So what's the real deal here? Why is Busta so bent out of shape? And did 50 just out another rapper who's been living a double life? Busta's been taking subtle shots for a minute now, acting like he's untouchable, like he's running the show. But now the spotlight's on him and the heat is rising fast. Let's be real. When it comes to the game, there's no contest. 50's Get Rich or Die Trying moved an incredible 13 million copies worldwide, making it one of the most iconic hip-hop albums ever. In comparison, Busta's debut, respectable, sure, with 209,000 sold in the first week, but nowhere near the same league. And that's where the tables start turning. Jokes aside, things are only heating up from here. 50 stayed quiet for years, brushing off Busta's shade without a word. He let Busta run his mouth thinking the storm would pass. But now, 50's done playing games. Whatever dirt he dug up, it's big enough to set him on a mission. And this time, he's ready to blow the whole thing wide open. Busta's always been loud with the smack talk, but 50's not just clapping back. He's going deep, connecting dots Busta never even knew existed. If you're thinking this is just another rap feud, think again. This goes way beyond music. There's another layer to all this, one that's got Busta sweating bullets. See, in the cutthroat world of hip-hop, it's all about who's got your back. And Busta? He's been running solo for a long time now. 50's been paying close attention to that. When you look at Busta's history, the pattern's hard to miss. Bridge after bridge, burn, fallout after fallout. And now that 50's really peeling back the layers, it's clear as day why so few in the industry stick by Busta. And the ones who do, let's just say, they're not exactly the kind of allies you'd want in your corner when the receipts start flying. It gets murkier. 50's hinted that Busta's got some skeletons, secrets that tie him directly to Diddy's inner circle. If you know anything about 50, you know he doesn't open his mouth without hard evidence. If he's talking now, he's got the goods. And here's the kicker. Not too long ago, Busta was showering 50 with praise, giving him his flowers. So what changed? Something flipped the script, and it's more than just a couple of playful jabs. What started as a friendly rivalry has morphed into something far deeper and far messier. Busta was all about showing love to 50 not that long ago. He gave him props for his success, calling out his hustle and giving respect where it was due. So, what happened? What flipped the script so suddenly? Rumor has it that 50 stumbled upon something big, something that wasn't just another juicy industry whisper. No, this was different. Whatever 50 found out, it wasn't the kind of info you can just laugh off. It was relationship-ruining, trust-shattering dirt. And yet, it all seems to lead right back to Diddy. Now, you've probably heard Diddy's name tossed around in connection with wild industry stories before, but this time it's hitting closer to home. The word is that Busta is spiraling, completely losing his grip over what might be on the verge of coming out. Why so frantic? Well, apparently he's been sending threats behind the scenes, all over some highly sensitive footage that's allegedly set to drop in 50's upcoming Diddy documentary. Everyone knows 50's been collecting dirt on Diddy and those infamous parties for years. It's practically legend at this point. But now, sources say there's actual video evidence of Busta right there in the mix. That's right, video, not just hearsay. And here's where it gets even messier. Busta's former bodyguard, Big Homie CC, has started talking. And he's not just dropping vague hints, he's spilling major tea. What's Big Homie saying? That Busta's been involved in the fun boys scene for years. He's claiming that certain club promoters would line up young guys in the VIP section, ready and waiting, whenever Busta made an appearance. And it's not just talk. According to these sources, 50 might actually have the receipts to back it all up, Big Homie says Busta had a pattern, bringing random street guys into his section, keeping the energy loud, wild, and unpredictable. And supposedly, there's footage floating around that shows Busta and Diddy smack in the middle of a chaotic scene with several men. It's the kind of revelation that could shake things up in ways we've never seen before. Sources claim that some of these men were linked to Diddy's former crew, but it doesn't end there. Several individuals are now stepping forward, alleging that Busta made some questionable advances toward them. According to them, every time they crossed paths with him, Busta would push them to come party. Even Orlando Brown has chimed in, sharing his own stories of hanging out with Busta. What started as scattered rumors is now spiraling into a full-blown controversy. The situation is unraveling quickly, and the headlines just keep getting messier. Now, let's not forget who we're dealing with. 50 Cent isn't a newcomer to the game. He's been keeping tabs on Busta for a long time. Although he had his suspicions, for a while, he chose to let it ride out of respect for Busta's grind. After all, back then, it didn't seem worth stirring up unnecessary drama. But here's the thing about 50. He never truly lets anything slide. He just bides his time, waits for the right moment, and strikes when it counts. Before they even shared a stage at the Humor and Harmony Comedy Fest, 50 had already been throwing subtle jabs, just enough to make people take notice. One of his lighter digs involved teasing that he was worried Busta might show up in a wild outfit, like that infamous loud yellow suit from the 1999 MTV VMAs. But when 50 turned up the heat, Busta clapped back, this time with a twist. He posted an AI-generated image of 50 sporting a bob haircut, captioned with a stingingly sarcastic comment. Busta joked, "Crazy as hell. I thought it was Father's Day. 50 Cent, and you out here looking like this? Don't let me find out this how you be in the mirror." It was a pointed response, playful on the surface, but loaded with enough bite to keep the feud alive. Getting ready for Shreveport, the stage was set for another round of lighthearted trolling. On the surface, it was just 50, and Busta trading their usual jabs for a laugh. They've been going back and forth for years, and most people figured it was all in good fun. But lately, that friendly rivalry is starting to feel a lot more one-sided. 50's been sharpening his shots, and now it's looking like he was serious from the jump. At this pace, Busta could very well be the next target of a full-blown expose. With 50 taking the reins on a big Netflix documentary, the timing couldn't be worse for Busta. All the tough talk and behind-the-scenes threats haven't done much to slow things down. If anything, Busta might have guaranteed himself even more unwanted attention. Once 50 gets rolling, there's no stopping the momentum, and right now, the momentum is squarely in 50's favor. When this beef first reignited, some folks assumed it was just another PR stunt. Maybe it was buzz for a new collab, a clever tour promo, or just a bit of headline fodder. But the deeper it goes, the clearer it gets. 50 isn't just teasing. He's out for blood. And Busta? He's left scrambling, trying to keep up with every new twist. At first, the back and forth seemed like harmless entertainment. Fans leaned in, eager for the juicy gossip, not taking it too seriously. But they couldn't have been more wrong. The biggest clue that Busta might actually be tied up in Diddy's orbit didn't come from some secret source or one of 50's bombshell hints. It came straight from Busta himself. When someone pressed him about Diddy's ongoing legal issues, Busta's whole demeanor shifted. That easygoing confidence, gone. In its place was a man in full-on defense mode. It wasn't a casual reaction. It was too quick, too practiced. While on the surface, it looked like Busta was just trying to dodge the spotlight, the subtle cues said otherwise. His darting eyes, the way he stiffened up, and the overly cautious tone. Those were classic tells. It looked a whole lot like the kind of calculated damage control that's become a trademark for Diddy and his circle. Instead of brushing off the question with his usual swagger, Busta's response raised more eyebrows than it put to rest. Here's where it gets really wild. People from coast to coast are stepping up with their own stories about Diddy. Most of these folks have never even crossed paths, yet their experiences all have a strangely familiar ring to them. And while Busta's out here trying to keep up the innocent act, those supposed tapes in 50's possession are telling a very different story. This isn't just about guilt by association anymore. It's starting to look like Busta was deep in the mix all along. If he thought he could challenge 50 Cent and come out unscathed, he clearly underestimated the situation and the man he's dealing with. 50's not cut from the same cloth as most rappers. He's not out here chasing clout, puffing up his chest for show, or playing games for a quick ego boost. That's exactly why Busta's in hot water now. See, 50 doesn't go into battle unless he knows he's already won. He's a master of strategy, a patient player in a long game. Even Joe Budden has thrown out warnings. Don't mess up your relationship with 50 Cent. And Busta, he ought to be breaking a sweat right about now. Because let's be real, 50 has the receipts. There's no doubt about it. But here's the kicker. 50 doesn't go nuclear right away. He's not the type to blow things up at the first opportunity. No, he waits. He lets his target dig their own grave, and by the time he drops the hammer, it's game over. And let's be honest, Busta's been doing a pretty great job of digging that grave all by himself. So here's the million-dollar question. Is 50 about to blow the lid off everything in one explosive reveal, or will he continue his slow burn approach, dragging it out piece by piece like he's been doing with Diddy? And let's be real for a moment. Do you genuinely think Busta's guilty of everything being hinted at, or is this just another rap feud spiraling completely out of control? We want to hear from you, so drop your take in the comments. Is Busta sitting on some major secrets? Is 50 really about to pull another name into the spotlight and take them down? Or are we just seeing the same drama cycle play out all over again? If you're as hooked on this story as we are, you don't want to miss what comes next. Hit that like button, share this with your crew, and make sure you're subscribed and have those notifications turned on. The saga is just heating up, and trust us, you're going to want to catch every single twist. See you on the next one.